Welcome to Learn How to Learn English.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Learn How to Learn English, where learning English is easy and fun. I'm Alex.
Hello, Alex. Hi, everyone. So wonderful to be back with all of you today.
Emma, I need to start today with a confession. And I want you to be honest with me after I tell you.
Oh, when people say, I want you to be honest, it usually means they already know the answer is not going to be great.
You are probably right. So, last year, I had a colleague at work. Very talented, very smart. But Emma, every single day, within the first 5 minutes of arriving at the office, this person would say something negative.
Like what?
This traffic was horrible. This meeting is going to be pointless. Nothing ever changes around here. Every single morning, without fail, before the day had even begun.
Oh, no.
And here is my confession. After 6 months of sitting next to this person, I started doing the same thing. Not on purpose, just gradually, without noticing, I started arriving at work already looking for the problem, already preparing the complaint, already expecting the worst.
You absorbed the negativity.
I absorbed it completely. And it was only when a friend pointed it out, Alex, you have become very negative lately, that I realized what had happened.
And what did you do?
I moved desks.
Ow! You moved desks, Alex.
The most practical solution I have ever found to a psychological problem. But more importantly, I had to actively rebuild something I had slowly lost, my positive outlook. And that process of understanding what positivity is, why it matters, and how to build it deliberately, that is exactly what today is about.
Because positivity is not naive. It is not pretending everything is perfect. It is not walking around with a forced smile saying, everything is wonderful, when things are clearly difficult.
That is toxic positivity, and we are not talking about that today.
We're talking about real, grounded, practical positivity, the kind that makes you a better thinker, a better problem solver, a better English learner, and a better human being.
By the end of today, you will understand what positivity really is. You will know the science behind it, simply explained. You will have real tools to build it. And you will have beautiful English vocabulary to talk about it naturally.
And before we dive in, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and share this with one person who could use a little more positivity in their day. You know who they are.
We all know someone. Let's go.
Alex, let's start with the basics, because I think positivity is one of the most misunderstood words in the English language.
Completely misunderstood. Ask most people what positivity means, and they think it means being happy all the time, smiling through everything, never complaining, never acknowledging difficulty.
And that is exhausting. That is not positivity. That is performance. And performances are tiring because they are not real.
Real positivity, genuine positivity, is something much more interesting. It is an orientation. Orientation. O-R-I-E-N-T-A-T-I-O-N. Noun. The direction in which something is pointed, where it faces. His orientation was always toward solutions, never just problems. In life, your orientation is where your attention naturally goes, toward problems or toward possibilities, toward what is wrong or toward what could be right. That default direction, that is your orientation.
And the beautiful thing about orientation, unlike personality, It can be changed, adjusted, trained, pointed in a new direction, deliberately, over time.
Which is why positivity is a skill, not a personality trait. Some people are naturally more inclined toward it, but all of us, every single one of us, can become more positive through practice and awareness.
And there is a word for the positive version of this orientation. The word is optimism. Optimism. And today, we are training optimism. Not blind optimism, realistic optimism. Expecting good outcomes while still acknowledging that challenges exist.
Now, Emma, let's talk about the science. Because some people think positivity is just a nice idea, a motivational poster, something people say but that has no real effect.
And the science completely disagrees.
Completely and emphatically disagrees. A researcher named Barbara Fredrickson at the University of North Carolina spent years studying what positive emotions do to the brain. And she found something remarkable.
What did she find?
She found that positive emotions, happiness, gratitude, love, curiosity, optimism, they literally broaden your thinking. She calls it the broaden and build theory. When you feel positive, your brain opens up. It sees more options. It thinks more creatively. It makes better decisions. It connects ideas more easily.
And the word for that opened, expanded state of mind is expansive. Expansive. E-X-P-A-N-S-I-V-E. Adjective. Covering a wide area. Open, large, generous. A positive mindset creates an expansive way of thinking. You see more possibilities, more solutions, more pathways forward. Her expansive thinking helped her find a solution nobody else had considered.
And the opposite is true too. When you feel negative, anxious, fearful, resentful, your brain narrows. It focuses in. It sees fewer options. It defaults to threat, to self-protection, to the familiar and the safe.
Which is useful if you are actually in danger. But in everyday life, in English learning, in work, in relationships, a narrowed, fearful brain is not your best asset.
And here is where it connects directly to our English learners. When you approach an English conversation in a positive state, curious, relaxed, open, your brain is in its expansive mode. You hear more. You retain more. You speak more freely.
But when you approach the same conversation terrified of mistakes, already imagining failure, your brain narrows. You hear less. You freeze. You forget the words you definitely know.
Which is why confidence, which is built on positivity, is not just a nice feeling. It is a cognitive advantage. Cognitive, C-O-G-N-I-T-I-V-E. Adjective, relating to the processes of thinking, learning, understanding, and remembering. A positive emotional state creates a genuine cognitive advantage. Your thinking becomes clearer, faster, and more creative. Cognitive flexibility, the ability to shift between ideas, improves significantly when you are in a positive state.
So the next time someone tells you to just be positive, you can tell them there is actual neuroscience behind that advice.
Actually, Barbara Fredrickson's broaden and build theory suggests that
Nobody at a dinner party is ready for that sentence.
before we build positivity, we need to understand what takes it away. Because you cannot protect something you do not know is under attack.
The first positivity thief, and this one is enormous, is comparison. Specifically, unfair comparison. Comparing your real life with all its struggles and imperfections to someone else's highlight reel, their best moments, their most polished presentation, and then feeling like you are somehow falling behind.
There is a phrase for this in English: keeping up with the Joneses. The Joneses, a typical family name, used to represent the neighbors who seemed to have more. The better house, the newer car, the more impressive achievements. Keeping up with the Joneses is exhausting. You are running a race nobody actually invited you to.
A race nobody invited you to? That is exactly what it is. And social media has made this infinitely worse. Because now the Joneses are not just your neighbors. They are everyone you have ever met, plus millions of strangers, all presenting their best life simultaneously.
And the fix is to replace comparison with appreciation. Appreciation, noun. Recognizing and enjoying the good qualities of something or someone. Being grateful. She replaced daily comparison with daily appreciation, and her sense of well-being shifted completely. Appreciate, verb. I deeply appreciate what I have, rather than focusing on what I have not.
The second positivity thief, rumination. We touched on this in our overthinking episode. Rumination, noun. Thinking deeply and repeatedly about something negative, going over and over a problem, a mistake, an embarrassing moment, without any movement toward resolution. She spent the whole evening ruminating over the conversation, replaying it, reinterpreting it, imagining different outcomes.
And rumination is a trap because it feels productive. It feels like you are solving something, but you are not. You are just stirring the same negative pot, over and over, getting the same result every time.
The fix is what psychologists call cognitive reframing. Reframing, taking a situation and consciously choosing to see it differently, to put a new frame around it. The same picture, different frame, completely different feeling.
For example, instead of, I made a terrible mistake, you reframe to, I learned something I will not forget. Instead of, I failed, you reframe to, I found a way that does not work. Now I am closer to the one that does.
That reframe from failure to information is one of the most powerful positivity tools in existence. And the English word for that positive interpretation of setbacks is resilience. 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 Noun. The ability to recover quickly from difficulties, to bounce back. Her resilience was remarkable. Every setback seemed to make her stronger, not weaker. Resilient. Adjective. He was incredibly resilient. He never stayed down for long.
Resilience is not the absence of pain. It is the ability to feel the pain and still move forward, still find the next step, still believe the next step exists.
Now, practical tools, real things you can do starting today to build positivity into your daily life.
Tool 1, and this is backed by decades of research, is gratitude practice. Gratitude, noun, the quality of being thankful, recognizing and appreciating the good things in your life. Research consistently shows that people who practice gratitude daily report higher levels of happiness, better sleep, stronger relationships, and, significantly, greater resilience in the face of difficulty.
And the practice is simple. Every evening before you sleep, write down 3 things you are grateful for. Not big things, not life-changing moments, small things. The cup of chai that tasted perfect, the song that came on at exactly the right moment, the person who held a door for you, the English word that finally clicked.
Because the brain, when trained to look for small, positive moments, starts finding them everywhere. And the more it finds, the more it looks. And the more it looks, the more it finds. A beautiful, self-reinforcing cycle.
The virtuous cycle. Virtuous. virtuous. Adjective. Having good moral qualities. But a virtuous cycle, specifically, means a cycle where each positive thing triggers more positive things, the opposite of a vicious cycle. Gratitude creates a virtuous cycle. The more you notice good things, the more good things you notice.
Tool 2. Intentional language. The words you use about yourself and your life are not just descriptions. They are instructions to your brain.
This is so important. The language you use internally, how you talk to yourself, shapes how you feel, and how you feel shapes what you do, and what you do shapes your results. Language is the beginning of everything.
So instead of, I am terrible at English, you say, I am still learning English and I am improving every day. Instead of, I always make mistakes, you say, I make mistakes and every mistake teaches me something. Instead of, I cannot do this, you say, I cannot do this yet.
Yet, that one small word, 3 letters, changes everything. I cannot do this yet contains a belief, a direction, a future. I cannot do this contains a full stop, an ending, a closed door.
And in English learning specifically, the language you use about your own ability is one of the biggest predictors of how far you will go. Learners who say, I am not good at languages, tend to prove themselves right. Learners who say, I am still growing in English, tend to keep growing.
Because the brain, broadly, tries to prove what you believe about yourself. Tell it you cannot, it will show you why. Tell it you are becoming, it will show you how.
Tool 3. Surround yourself deliberately. We talked at the start about how I absorbed my colleagues' negativity without even realizing it. And that is not weakness. That is just human biology. We are profoundly influenced by the people around us, their moods, their words, their orientation.
The philosopher Jim Rohn famously said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." And while that is a simplification, the core idea is real. Your environment shapes you, your social environment especially.
So, deliberately, seek out people who are energizing rather than draining, constructive rather than destructive, forward-looking rather than stuck in complaint. Not people who pretend everything is perfect, but people who believe things can improve, who look for solutions alongside the problems.
And in English learning, this applies to your input too. What you watch, what you listen to, what you read. Fill your input with English that uplifts, that teaches, that inspires. Not just content that drains your energy or makes you feel behind.
Let's take a quick pause. If today's conversation is giving you something real, hit that like button.
And please subscribe to learn how to learn English. Every week, real topics, real English, real conversations that matter.
And leave us a comment below. What is one thing that consistently steals your positivity? and one thing that restores it. Write in English, any length. We read every single one.
Now, let's connect this directly to English learning, because I think this is where it becomes most personal for everyone listening.
And leave us a comment below. What is one thing that consistently steals your positivity and one thing that restores it? Write in English, any length. We read every single one.
Now, let's connect this directly to English learning, because I think this is where it becomes most personal for everyone listening.
Because English learning is full of moments that test your positivity. The moment someone does not understand you. The moment you forget a word you definitely knew yesterday. The moment you walk out of a conversation thinking, I said that completely wrong.
All of those moments can be interpreted negatively as evidence that you are not good enough, that you are failing, that you should give up. Or they can be reframed.
The moment someone did not understand you is data about how to communicate more clearly. The forgotten word is evidence that your brain is managing an enormous amount of new information and sometimes drops a file. Not failure, overload. There is a difference.
And the conversation that felt wrong is 10 times more valuable than the conversation you had perfectly in your head but never actually had. Because real conversation, imperfect, stumbling, brave, is the only kind that builds real fluency.
There is a word for the courage it takes to speak when you might get it wrong. The word is vulnerability. 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 Noun. The state of being open to potential difficulty or criticism. Willing to be seen imperfectly. Speaking a new language requires real vulnerability. You are showing your incomplete, imperfect work to another person in real time. Vulnerable. Adjective. She felt vulnerable speaking English in front of strangers, but she did it anyway. And every time she did, the vulnerability shrank a little.
And positivity, real, grounded positivity, is what makes vulnerability possible. Because when you believe, fundamentally, that making a mistake is okay, that being imperfect is part of the process, that the other person is rooting for you, not looking for ammunition, you speak more freely, you try more boldly, you grow faster.
And I want to say something directly to anyone listening who has been hard on themselves about their English, who has said, internally, things they would never say to a friend in the same situation. You are so slow. You should be better by now. Why can't you just get it?
Would you say those things to a child learning to walk?
Of course not. You would say, look how far you have come. You are doing so well. Try again. I believe in you.
You deserve the same voice, the same patience, the same encouragement, from yourself to yourself, every single day.
That internal voice, the way you speak to yourself, has a name in psychology. It is called your inner critic, or, when it is kind and supportive, your inner coach. An inner critic tears you down. An inner coach builds you up. And you get to choose every single day which voice gets the microphone.
Time for our favorite segment, Pocket Words. 5 beautiful words from today, ready to carry into any conversation.
First word, optimistic. Optimistic. Adjective. Tending to expect good outcomes. Believing things will work out. She remained optimistic throughout the difficult period, not because she was naive, but because she knew that attitude affects outcome. I am optimistic about my English progress. I can feel the improvement even when it is slow. Optimism. Noun. A quiet optimism is one of the most powerful forces in a person's life.
Second word, resilient. Resilient. Adjective. Able to recover quickly from difficulty, to bounce back. The most successful English learners I have ever met were not the most talented. They were the most resilient. They kept going after every setback. Resilience. Noun. Build resilience, not by avoiding difficulty, but by moving through it and discovering you can.
Third word, thrive. 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 Verb. To grow strongly and successfully. To flourish. More than just surviving, actually doing well. She did not just survive the difficult period, she thrived. She came out stronger, wiser, and more capable. I want to thrive in English, not just get by. Plants thrive in sunlight. People thrive in supportive environments. Thriving. Adjective. A thriving English learner is one who is growing consistently, not perfectly.
Fourth word, mindset. 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 Noun. The established set of attitudes a person holds, the way someone thinks about themselves and the world. A positive mindset does not guarantee success, but a negative one almost guarantees failure. Changing your mindset around mistakes, from shame to learning, is one of the most powerful things you can do as a language learner. Growth mindset. The belief that abilities can be developed through effort. Fixed mindset. The belief that abilities are set and cannot change. A growth mindset is essential for English learning. The belief that you can improve is the foundation of actually improving.
Fifth and final pocket word, radiate. 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 Verb. To send out something, especially light, heat, or a quality in all directions. She radiated warmth. Everyone who met her felt immediately at ease. When you are genuinely positive, you radiate it. People feel it. It changes the energy in the room. He walked in and the whole meeting changed. He just radiated confidence and calm. Radiant. Adjective. She had a radiant energy that made everyone around her feel more hopeful.
Time to smooth it out. Common sentences, polished into natural English.
First one, I am trying to be more positive thinking.
Small adjustment needed. We say positive thinking as a noun, or think more positively as a verb. To smooth it out, I am trying to think more positively. Or, I am working on having a more positive mindset. Both are clean and natural.
Second one, I have very negative peoples around me.
Peoples. Incorrect here. People is already plural, no S. To smooth it out, I have very negative people around me. Or, more naturally, the people around me tend to be quite negative. I am surrounded by negative energy, also very natural and expressive.
Third one, positivity is making me to feel better.
After make in this structure, we use the base verb, no to. To smooth it out, positivity makes me feel better. Gratitude makes me feel calmer. Exercise makes me feel energized. Make plus object plus base verb. No two in the middle.
After make in this structure, we use the base verb, no to. To smooth it out, positivity makes me feel better. Gratitude makes me feel calmer. Exercise makes me feel energized. Make plus object plus base verb. No to in the middle.
Nearly right, but the natural phrase is, look on the bright side, or look at the positive side. On, not the. To smooth it out, I want to look on the bright side, or I am trying to focus on the positive side of things. Look on the bright side is a very common English expression. Things did not go as planned, but look on the bright side. You learned something valuable.
And our last one. She is a very optimist person.
When using an adjective before a noun, we do not need the noun form. We need the adjective form. Optimist is a noun. Optimistic is the adjective. To smooth it out, she is a very optimistic person. Or simply, she is very optimistic. He is optimistic about the future. Optimistic, always the adjective. Optimist when you mean the noun. She is a natural optimist.
Practice conversation time. Let's see everything in action. Emma, set the scene.
Okay, two colleagues having lunch together. One is going through a difficult time. The other is supportive. Alex, you are the one going through it. I will be your supportive colleague. Ready?
Ready. Let's go.
Hey, you seem a bit quiet today. Is everything okay?
Honestly, not really. I have had a really difficult week. Everything seems to be going wrong, and I am finding it hard to stay positive.
I am sorry to hear that. What is going on?
I made a big mistake at work. My manager pointed it out in front of the whole team. I have been ruminating on it for days. I cannot stop replaying it.
Oh, that sounds awful. I completely understand why you are finding it hard to stay optimistic right now. But can I ask you something?
Of course.
Is the mistake still causing problems, or has it been resolved?
It has been resolved. My manager and I spoke about it, and it is sorted now.
So what you are dealing with now is not the actual problem. It is the story you are telling yourself about the problem.
That is a very good point.
Try reframing it. Instead of, I made a terrible mistake, say, I made a mistake, I addressed it, I learned from it, and I will not make it again. Same event, completely different meaning.
That is actually helpful. You know, I think my inner critic has been very loud this week.
I know that voice. It is not kind, is it?
Not at all. It says things I would never say to another person.
Then do not say them to yourself either. You deserve the same kindness you would give a good friend. Resilience is not pretending it did not hurt. It is deciding what you do with the hurt.
You radiate positivity, Emma. You know that?
I have my days, but I have a gratitude practice that honestly changed everything for me. Every evening, 3 things. Not big things, just small, good things. And slowly, over time, your brain learns to look for them, and it starts finding more.
A virtuous cycle.
Exactly, a virtuous cycle. The more you look for good, the more good you find.
I'm going to try that tonight. Thank you, Emma. I came to lunch feeling quite low, and now I feel lighter somehow.
That is what honest conversation does, and that is what positivity is. Not pretending, just choosing to move toward the light, even when the dark is real.
And scene.
Did you hear all of it? Ruminating, optimistic, reframing, inner critic, resilience, radiate, virtuous cycle, gratitude? Every single word used naturally in a real human conversation.
Not from a list, not from a textbook, from two people actually talking about something real.
Let's bring today together.
Positivity is not toxic cheerfulness. It is a trained orientation, a direction you choose to point your attention.
What steals it? Unfair comparison, rumination, negative environments. What steals it? Unfair comparison, rumination, negative environments.
What builds it? Gratitude practice, intentional language, especially yet, deliberately seeking energizing people and input.
And in English learning, positivity is not optional. It is cognitive. A positive state broadens your thinking, opens your hearing, frees your speaking.
Replace your inner critic with an inner coach. Reframe mistakes as information and give yourself the same kindness you would give a good friend.
Because you are working on something hard, learning a language as an adult is genuinely difficult, and you are doing it anyway. That deserves recognition from the people around you and from yourself.
Leave a comment below and tell us, what is one positive thing that happened to you this week, big or small? In English, any sentence. We want to read them, all of them.
Please subscribe to Mr. Azan English School, like this video, and share it with someone who needs a little more positivity in their week.
Next time, we are continuing this series with the topic, how to stop comparing yourself to others and focus on your own journey.
Oh, a perfect follow-on, because comparison and positivity are deeply connected, and we have a lot to say about both.
Subscribe now so you do not miss it. Thank you for being here today, for listening, for growing, for choosing to spend 30 minutes with us on something that matters.
Choose positivity, not because life is easy, but because you and your life are worth the effort. We will see you next time on Mr. Azan English School. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Take care.